as we get going through today, so you understand my knowledge, my background, I'm the VP of Sales at K-eCommerce. I've been working inside of both the Microsoft Dynamics as well as the e-commerce community to helping companies come to fruition around integrated e-commerce and what it can do for your business. So I've been in the industry a long time, working with many different businesses in a variety of different industries, which I'll get into a little bit later, but that's my background. And as we talk about the agenda for the meeting today, we'll talk about K-eCommerce just because I think as people evaluate e-commerce, what they do is, they hear in the industry, hey, there's this massive shopping cart provider, they got great functionality around retail. Let's talk to these guys. I found this great solution for order entry for B2B, let's talk to these guys. It's important to understand that when you go to market with a provider, especially in e-commerce, it's very similar to working in picking an ERP, right? You got to do your due diligence, and I encourage clients to do that. But it's more about what they can do for you today, as well as what they can do for you down the line. Because what most people don't recognize up front, and some do, but most don't, is you don't want to rip and replace a commerce system every couple of years, because the ROI between the system goes out the door, and the amount of manual maintenance can be really overwhelming to your business and really would limit your growth when it comes to commerce, and the whole point of commerce is growth. So I'll talk about how we provide and how we go to market as a partner for customers who choose to work with us, and how we work with your ERP and TM to really minimize risk. We'll also talk about the benefits today of integrating your web store to Microsoft Dynamics. So obviously everybody in the audience today has made an investment of Dynamics or will be making an investment in Dynamics, and how an integrated solution can benefit your business. I'll actually go through and show the application today and show you how it functions. I'll go through the retail, the wholesale, as well as the order entry portion for internal resources, and show you the solution. And then last but not least, I'm going to conclude the presentation today by actually going through a cost-saving scenario utilizing a web store powered by Microsoft Dynamics. So for many in the audience, again, who may already have a cart or maybe looking to implement a cart, some of the pitfalls to look for, and really money flies out the window when we don't have integration to our ERP. So I'm going to go through that scenario and really what the cost of having an integrated solution means to your business. So that'll be what the agenda is for the session today. Again, and as I start, really I want to start just by talking about our commitment to the community, where we've come from. We started in '99. We did our first integration, believe it or not, with GP back in 2004. So I think started like a lot of commerce companies had, 15 years ago, but then we got our start into, hey, you know what, there's businesses out there who have an ERP that don't just want a cart, they want an integration that save them time, money, and make their life simpler. We expanded that out to a couple of the other Microsoft Dynamics offerings, including CRM, and then from there we've expanded out to many other ERPs outside of the Microsoft Dynamics stack. We were the first web store to actually move out to the cloud back in 2007, so we got started early, which you'll kind of see that trend throughout my presentation. We're very big on future, the trends, the community, being an e-commerce company. Delivered an offline order entry application in 2009 for a lot of our clients who were working at trade shows who couldn't not necessarily have a connection constantly to the internet but needed order entry from a web portal. So we delivered that offline order entry capability. And then early in 2014, actually January, we delivered our first responsive website, which we'll talk about in the presentation today. And what that does, that technology does, is it ensures compatibility across any device. So you have clients looking at the desktop, they see one experience, tablet, they see another, mobile phone, they see another, but ensuring that as a business you don't need to worry about that compatibility when technology is in place to take care of all that for you. Now, as I mentioned, we've done this a lot in the channel. We are the most heavily installed web store in the Dynamics community, installed in over 15 countries, and we just surpassed 1,500 to make it 1,600 clients as a solution provider, again, in a variety of different industries, and I'll get into a couple of the ERPs that we play really, or verticals that we play really well in a little bit later. As we look at how we can be, how we go to market, how we partner with customers, we try to deliver what our clients want today and in the future. So many of the clients approach us looking for a wholesale-facing website, right? We have that unique login, secure environment. We offer a retail-facing environment, so for those who need a retail website, who need a corporate website, we have a full-blown content management system to host that website for you. And we also, again, offer E2B, which is that rep order entry facing portal that we have as well, which really we put in place initially to just overcome order entry challenges with some customers saw in the ERP. But moving forward, it's now been about improving customer service experience online by using that portal. So empowering your internal users with a web-based application. And as we talk about e-commerce, it's important to understand that, yes, we're going to help with order entry and streamlining the orders being written back to your ERP, but we do much more than that. It's about allowing customers to self-serve online, digging through a rich product catalog, having the content management system in place to put up other static pages that aren't necessarily shopping cart related, but are more educational in content that can be structured through our platform as well. And then last but not least, we built out marketplace integration. So a lot of customers over the past couple of years have been talking about needing the ability to sell on Amazon, eBay. We've gone out there and we've built an integration to, again, allow our single tool with a quick add-on to be able to take those products, those services, that pricing, that availability out to Amazon or eBay, grabbing the orders from Amazon or eBay and writing them back into Microsoft Dynamics for you to clean and streamline that entire selling process. So again, us really being your dedicated business partner online in any sense is what we've tried to position ourselves as. Now, as we talk about that, our business, well, I talk about why integrate, why having a web store is beneficial for your business. And I think a lot of us in the room, if we're doing e-commerce today, there's a few scenarios that come into play. Many companies have multiple databases in place. And what this means typically is you have conflicting information, right? You got a retail site, you got a wholesale site. Well, that website, that order could be keyed into each database and have, again, a different order number, maybe different availability on each of the orders. And what it does is in turn mean that our customers aren't seeing the same information, we're not seeing the same information, and we're doubling our efforts when it comes to getting that information into different systems. Very similar to graphics 2 and 3 here, as we look at the mobile phone browser, looking at stock, we look at the mobile phone desktop, looking at price. A lot of companies over the years have built out, hey, I got one website for my my business that's mobile optimized, and then I have a separate website for my desktop experience, right? 2 websites running off 2 different databases. Well, the challenge there is your customer comes on his phone, hey, you know what, it shows no availability, but I look it up on my desktop and, oh, sure enough, it's looking at another system and there's availability. Same with price. On my mobile phone, I know I've gone into the store and looked at it, pricing. Pricing in the store shows X. I go online, pricing online shows Y. Very frustrating to customers to, again, be looking at different databases, different applications showing different points of truth. In this case, integration can clean all that up and ensure that that's all in sync. And last but not least, I deal with a lot of clients every day. You know what, we get a low volume of orders, or we're starting to grow, starting to see some more orders come over, but I got an order entry team and they're putting in the orders, and you know what, we bought this great order entry tool for GP, and we're still paying people to manually enter those orders. While that's great in theory, you still have an employee that's coming in at 9 a.m., spending the first couple hours of his day entering those orders that came in overnight. And again, instead of that employee being able to focus on customer service or other areas of the business to improve, we're left sitting there slowing down our fulfillment process, slowing down the order entry process with that manual integration or manual touch point without a system that's actually integrated. So what we've done and what we deliver then is kind of an end-to-end solution, again, with Dynamics in the website, K-eCommerce, communicating in a bidirectional fashion. So Microsoft Dynamics, you're coming in, you're creating products, managing pricing, managing availability, maybe updating a build to or ship to address. That information, again, synchronizing out to the website database through this synchronization technology, the K-eCommerce Sync, which partly uses web service, partly uses eConnect. But again, is the technology and how we're able to synchronize the information out to the web store. Now, not only is it going out, but it's also coming back. So orders, maybe a customer came online, placed an order, maybe a new account was created, maybe a build to or ship to address was updated online. That data also needed to come back in and go into Dynamics, again, ensuring that both databases, again, are seeing the same information. What's nice about this, too, is it also then can function offline. If Microsoft Dynamics is taken down, GP is being updated, NAV has a service pack coming in, whatever ERP you're running inside of the Dynamics side, we can then have the information we need to power the website, ensure a seamless customer experience, grab the orders, grab the changes, and then write them back over as Dynamic is brought back online. So how we can, again, ensure compatibility between the two systems, and again, a nice seamless interface between the two. How aggressive this synchronization, I would note, is controlled by our customers. So if you're the type of client that wants everything being synchronized every minute or every 30 seconds or maybe 3 times a day, you have control over what information is synchronized, how frequently that information is synchronized, which is how we're able to scale. Most of our clients are between $2 and $40 million in revenue with the portal, but I can tell you we have clients, that are just coming off or running a small entry market ERP, something like QuickBooks, and I can tell you we got clients on custom-built ERPs running $400 or $500 million through the platform in a given year. And the synchronization is what allows a platform to scale when it comes to a web store and ensure that you don't see performance issues on the website and you don't see performance back inside of your ERP based on the volume of website transactions that are occurring. So very critical. Now, as we talk about integration, we talk about the need really to have mobile and tablet readiness. And again, this isn't something that's a nice to have anymore. Again, with the changes Google made on April 21st in the algorithm, responsive web design is a part of web now. It's what businesses are scrambling to put in place or scrambling to bring into their technology. And again, responsive works off one URL, one style sheet, one bit of content, and one SEO campaign. Really critical because this is all cost-saving aspects to your business. It also utilizes HTML5. HTML5 is used by less than 25% of websites in the world. Okay, so only 1 in every 4 websites utilizes HTML5 code. That being said, that 25% or less of websites in the world accounts for more than 50% of all the traffic in the world. Okay, so people are going to HTML5 websites for a reason. They're fast, they're clean, they're easy, and they run smoothly for clients. Great technology to have in place as a business, again, to stand out against our competitors, again, being that 1 in 4 business, but also following the industry best practices that now Google's dictating we all need to have in place as a business. So things to take into account as we're looking at a solution, what we've done at K-eCommerce to deliver into our system. And this isn't new technology. This is technology that, again, has been made relevant in the past year by Google, but it's something that we delivered into our core platform almost 2 years ago at this time. Now, as we talk about the platform itself, a lot of people take into account the buzzword omni-channel that they've heard for years, and what does that mean? Well, omni-channel is basically pointing back to a single application that allows all the users in our business to see the same information across the organization, whether it's internal or external. And again, it's all information coming out of our ERP to, again, cut back on the, hey, the web says this, my mobile phone says that type thing, or I call into my rep, he's telling me X, the web's showing me different. The rep portal was developed to eliminate that. Because as Forrester notes, 42% of customer service reps or salespeople are unable to effectively resolve customer issues due to the fact that they're in disconnected systems or working out of archaic user interfaces and or multiple applications. So what that tells me is that we need to deliver a solution that empowered your internal users. We don't need to train them on the ERP, but we still want to give them access to create orders, create quotes, maybe process a return, take a look at pricing, availability, rich customer history, account information, all from a web-based application, which is what this rep portal does, is it puts all your internal users in a web-based application where we're not eating up seats inside of the ERP. And again, very quick to market training being done through this application. So you can see how for some businesses this is a really great tool, again, in particular when there's no seat limitation. And as we kind of wrap and summarize why, we talk about, well, it's a complete offering. It's utilizing the investment you've made in Dynamics to power the web store platform and bring all that rich information and content that's inside of the ERP out to any device, which is basically all your customers in the end, including your internal users. Now, as we talk our application, we talk about flexibility behind an application, which I think is what people look for in any shopping cart. Nobody wants to buy something they're locked into, especially if you're really looking for a long-term investment. There needs to be options. So this solution can be deployed either in the cloud or on-premise, okay, which is great. You can purchase the license up front. There's a one-time license fee for it, or you can come into our subscription model where you're paying month to month and you're on a 30-day contract. So a lot of flexibility there. Whether you want to have this hosted day one, off in data center X, you want to have it hosted day one in our data center, which we have, which is a PCI data center, you could do that. And maybe you want to take it on premise and throw it on your own machines. You can also do that. So a lot of flexibility there. And in either scenario, we're helping aid and bring to fruition a PCI compliant web store, ensuring security for your customers, but also high availability. In this case, we can optimize performance and speed by putting it on a dedicated server or network if needed. Now, as we talk about the implementation, where it can go, we talk about what it needs to do. And most websites, for that matter, really require flexibility around payment, tax, and freight, which are what I'm going to get into next. So as we talk about payment, some of us in the industry, you know what, I have a website, I don't want to process payments, I want everything on account. You know, that's fine. You have terms set up in your ERP, we'll look at those terms and honor those terms online. But maybe you got those high-risk clients who log in online, and I don't want those guys coming in on terms. I want to require that they pay via credit card or ACH at checkout. We can do that. So we put them into a unique group or class, if we think of ERP terminology, and we require them to pay via credit card online versus having terms. And again, maybe that's a B2B site, maybe it's a B2C site, whatever that might be, we're able to communicate out with the payment gateways of the world to streamline the payment process at checkout and ensure that we have an encrypted, compliant checkout process as a business that's not holding our business liable as we talk about enabling credit card as a form of payment online. So not only do we talk about payment, which is typically the last step, we talk about the need for having dynamic tax and freight calculation. When it comes to tax, again, a lot of things change as the years pass and the government dictates different tax schedules, different codes. As a business, you grow and you have new warehouses, in which case Nexus becomes more of a priority in new states. So you have the option to then populate that tax schedule in your ERP. And if that's not the case, maybe you don't want to work inside of the ERP, maybe you want to bring in a third-party tax service, in which case we can call out to that tax service and pull back that rate from them real time at checkout and throw it on the sales order prior to the order being processed. Again, so back office, we're pick, packing, and shipping. Well, that leads to a very similar instance in the shipping world. Shipping, obviously, you can build in flat costs. There can be no tax or ship freight potentially on an order if you have a downloadable good. Or maybe we want to call out to the carrier of choice and throw that rate on the order real time, looking at the weight or dimensional weight of the item from the ERP. And maybe in some instances we want to grab the customer's UPS account number or FedEx account number at checkout, again, to personalize that experience and service them that much better. So a lot of options are built into the K-eCommerce platform to ensure that we can also grab freight in the scenario where we want to grab freight versus some clients who don't want to calculate freight or don't need to calculate freight at all within the portal. Now, as we look at the options we've noted here, we look at the umbrella offering from K-eCommerce, and this brings me back to where we kind of started. Offering you much more than probably most clients want today. I can tell you some clients pretty much use everything I've just described. Other clients come in and, you know what, I just need a nitty-gritty wholesale-facing website. I know you guys got a lot of bells and whistles on the wholesale side, but I don't need retail. I don't need the order entry portal. That's fine. We have a package that meets that need. We deliver it to you. We implement it. But the good news is as you grow as a business, as more requirements come up down the road, we can do much more from you. And again, you can lean on us to be that partner to deliver that piece of the puzzle back and ensure that you're not bringing in multiple companies, multiple businesses, multiple applications to deliver all those different needs and fulfill all those different needs, which obviously minimizes the risk as you look to implement new solutions on the web. Now, as a provider, we've done this in a variety of spaces. We talk retail. We work with a lot of clients who have a very high output of products when it comes to product attributes with size, color, and style coming into the matrix. Unique pricing complexities that come into the picture. We can work with the ERP pricing structure to ensure we can provide out unique prices, multiple images, product zoom, support for video, keywords, SEO optimized websites. rich product filters to allow them to navigate and refine to get through products and down to an item detail page quickly. All things that we've come to market with in our solution. And again, look inside of the ERP to streamline that maintenance, because a lot of us in the room could be managing product attributes, groups, categories inside of our ERP, in which all case can be repurposed inside of the K-eCommerce platform. And as we look at some of the big industry pain points, overselling. A lot of people implement a shopping cart, again, which doesn't look at the ERP's availability. When you oversell to a retail client, you get a lot of unhappy customers. You get a lot of issues around manual order entry, which again can cause turnover, unhappy clients, and lead to an outlash on social media. Again, which is not what a lot of our retail clients are looking for. They're looking to get that information out to customers so we can continue to get good, positive feedback and a rich customer experience online. And I say that knowing that Forrester notes that in the future, and I'm talking now over the next 2-3 years, customer service will now be the key differentiator in businesses. It's not going to be price, it's going to be customer experience, which is going to drive our customers and drive revenue in that recurring install base and reordering amongst our customers as we look to find solutions that can streamline that customer experience and provide, again, a top-notch customer service experience overall in our portal. So we've done this in retail, we've done it in food and beverage. In particular, working with Microsoft Dynamics, unit of measure comes into play. Again, critical component for customers selling multiple units of measure, needing real-time availability, needing quick order entry. Again, when food and beverage companies are coming out here looking to do bulk orders, share out unique information for each wholesaler, have unique pricing set up, have unique catalogs set up. So we've dealt with a lot of that in the food and beverage industry that is really critical, and again, great functionality that we've delivered into the system to satisfy small companies as well as very large companies, as you can see down below here. So I want to stop for a moment. I'm going to transition over to the actual product portion of this demo, and I appreciate everybody's attendance. Hopefully we don't have a lot of people itching out here with questions, but again, if you guys do have questions or comments, feel free to jump in and start building that list out. I know Allie will be monitoring that, but just give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up my demo environment here for a second. Once I have that up on my screen, I'm going to get off and running. So I think everybody should be able to see my demo environment right now. We should be seeing K-Sports. So K-Sports, what I'm looking at now is my demo environment. This is a retail-facing website. And as we look at that retail website, it's currently optimized for a browser. And then as I drag my screen and modify my resolution, you can see it's now been optimized for a tablet view. I'm going to continue the change in resolution here, and I'm going to move down to a mobile phone. Everything being optimized for a vertical scroll and touch optimized. Okay, so customers actually can click and actually open the website. It's very frustrating when you get down on your mobile phone or your tablet and you're clicking on a pixel and it's not opening. So again, this is the responsive technology that I communicated to you guys earlier in the presentation that we've delivered, ensuring a nice, clean shopping cart experience, on top of the fact that we're also giving you the more complex piece, which is integration back to your ERP. So as a customer browses through a product hierarchy, and again, this is more retail facing right now, I have a rich filter. I have a sort configured on my website. I have my product rate and review configured. I have multiple images or descriptions associated with this product. I have them grouped, so many SKUs actually here are displayed on one product page. My cost and availability currently coming out of my ERP, allowing people to populate my shopping cart. All the rich supporting product information about this item has been uploaded into our product database, into our product information manager, and then upsell, cross-sell being shown below. So typical things you'd see in a retail-facing environment. I'm going to come to the shopping cart level really quick and show you that conversion process here, in which case when I filled up my shopping cart, I can actually move to checkout. When I come to actually check out, I'm going to be prompted to capture all the information necessary to actually build the customer card back in the ERP. And I was actually out here a little bit earlier already putting in some of my build to information. And once I've done, it's actually going to, again, pull back my real-time freight estimate. It's going to allow me to gather maybe delivery instructions, maybe a requested delivery date, quick order summary. I have my sales tax that's been calculated on the sales order, and it's going to prompt me to capture a coupon or promo code, and then my form of payment for checkout. And again, typical retail checkout process here, also enabling our gift card processing. So this experience obviously is a little bit different because most retail clients are just coming out, placing their order, and then coming back and checking their order status. That retail experience, again, changes a little bit from the wholesale experience, in which case our wholesale environments are more personalized up front because we know who the client is. So we're able to, again, customize the catalog upon login of what products. So I only buy Nestle from you guys, or you know what, I only buy Nike. I could come out here and immediately get to the products that I want and show them unique products so they're not digging through this massive product catalog. We have some clients that run Dynamics who have 1 million plus SKUs. Not intuitive to browse through 1 million SKUs. Typically, I know what I want. So I can put out unique catalogs. I can show him his last or previous orders so he can immediately come onto the website, open an order, and reorder from that old order and use it as a starting point. I can also take a look at my frequently ordered products. So this queries the website, it queries Dynamics, and looks at your order history from both systems to say, hey, these are the most frequently ordered products regardless of where their order history came from. And again, not just showing me the retail price, but my cost. So again, it looking back into Dynamics at the price level you've associated or the price sheet you've associated with that customer in Dynamics. Here I've also pulled out quantity break pricing out of Dynamics. And instead of a one-off order entry, which I saw on my retail website, you can see the grid order entry view. Again, great for somebody in retail who is looking to, or you're ordering a hat in multiple sizes and multiple colors. You're ordering wine and you want to order it by the case, by the pallet. We then get in a unit of measure and we can order in bulk from a grid type view to allow for that seamless integration and quick order entry. And not only do we see it in a browse scenario, but we can also come into our quick order entry function, which would allow me to simply key in a SKU and quantity, maybe a partial description and a quantity, which queries the GP or Microsoft Dynamics system to find those products, pull back real-time cost, pull back real-time availability, show me upsell, cross-sell here. I can import a product list, so maybe I have the SKUs in quantity I want to order. It's in an Excel file, it's in a CSV file. I come into the website, I upload it. It's going to dump everything right into this grid view here and allow me to simply key in my PO number, save it, and then check out. So again, yet another checkout option, again, that makes wholesalers' life a lot easier when it comes to order entry. And now as I've logged in as a wholesaler, my build to and ship to information have all come out of Dynamics. It's going to allow me to update one, create a new one, all at checkout. Again, gather my real-time freight cost, gather that PO number, gather my delivery instructions, put in that requested delivery date, and then again, when all is said and done, process my order through and not just open up credit card processing, but open up the terms option. In which case, when I'm done, we send an email confirmation off to your customer. The order is synchronized back to your ERP, so you're pick, packing, and shipping as a business. And we've cleaned up that entire order entry process on top of simplified the entire maintenance and setup of the website, which is where, again, the ROI comes in. So after the fact, clients can come in and, again, track the status of their order. The ship to information or the tracking number will come out of Microsoft Dynamics. So as we're putting that information in, maybe from WorldShip into Dynamics, we synchronize it out here. We send an email confirmation off. We offer advanced lookup history for orders or invoices. Maybe I have an order number, a PO number, a SKU that was used. I can quickly find that order, open that order, and use that as a reorder point. So again, commonly used in retail and food and beverage. I got my order from last week for the wine that I placed and the beef that I placed. I can come out here and quickly order again, which will take everything from that old sales order back into my cart with today's cost, today's availability, and then maybe I want to add or remove a few items, change a couple quantities, and check out again. So that's kind of the difference between the retail and the wholesale facing environment here as we go through the two environments, which really is a big difference. I can tell you the wholesale environment also functions as a catalog only environment. So for a lot of our wholesalers, they don't want to have order entry for everybody. You got to sign up to be a distributor of our products or our services. But I want to educate everybody in the general population. Maybe I'll find new distributors or wholesalers who want to buy from us. So I open up my catalog, and you can see here I can go into the product catalog. I can look at your products, look at your services, but I've disabled the order entry option. No add to cart, no pricing, no availability. So you can obviously show a competitor potentially what you're selling, but not at what cost and how much you have in stock. So a great way to, again, have a retail-facing site, even though we're not selling to the general public. all which is core to our platform. Now, the last environment I want to show here is the back end of the web store platform that we offer here at K-eCommerce. So in moving into the back end, you can see all your educational content as a customer is here. Videos, how-to, documentation sitting in the back end of the platform. All of our configurations, how we work and interact with Dynamics is here. You know, you have 5 warehouses. I only want to enable 2 to be shown online. Make those configurations here. And again, as a user, you modify those moving forward as you see fit. Our analytics of the portal are sitting out here. The ability to create coupons or gift cards is sitting out here. Our content management system, which I'll get into in a minute, is here. And then the product catalog. So again, your products have been synchronized from Microsoft Dynamics, sitting out here with the SKU and description. We then give you an interface to bring in all that additional rich product content. So you have multiple images, videos, HTML, that type of stuff that doesn't reside in your ERP, you can upload through an import function into the website, which you can see up here. So simple ways to make and manage that information on top of managing your product catalog, top of managing your product hierarchy. But the other piece I want to focus on today is the rep order entry aspect. So I talked about empowering your salespeople or your customer service agents. Here, I give you three areas. A sales order dashboard that's going to show me any transaction, okay? So Rep A can log in, see his customers. Maybe Sales Manager logs in and sees any order that a sales rep has placed. I can, again, filter it by payment type. I can filter it by customer. I can filter it by date. I can filter it by, you know what, show me all retail orders, all wholesale orders, and all orders that went in through the ERP. So I have visibility through an order dashboard that's web-based. Again, all data that you can get from your ERP, but if you don't want to put people in your ERP, pulling smart lists out of your ERP, you can come push them in the web dashboard to get it. The web dashboard also will keep an abandoned cart dashboard. So any order that's not converted, somebody who has an account logs in online, any order not converted will sit out here, timestamp with an order total. I can open the order and convert the order for the client, all from this dashboard. Last but not least, I also have a dashboard for salespeople or customer service, or that call center that I referenced to work out of. So I open the dashboard, and you can see here, create a new account or look up an existing. So here, a variety of different fields to query through the ERP to find a client. Maybe I want to go into Rep A and find Rep A's customers and filter through there. Maybe I want to do it by group or class as we look at what's been set up in the ERP. Once I've selected a client, though, I'm now in a web-facing interface servicing, in this case, customer A, B, or we take Aaron Fitz as an example, servicing that client, but I'm doing it as a sales rep or customer service agent. What's nice about this, not only am I seeing the retail price and their current cost, I also have access to their order history, their document history, all from a web-based portal. I can also help the client if he's called me on the phone saying, hey, I'm online, I'm looking for this bit of information. I can help troubleshoot that client and walk him through, because again, we've now put everybody in a similar application that's seeing the same amount of information. So in this case, maybe I come out here, create a quote. Client can then go out to the website, log in, convert that quote to an order, or vice versa. Client creates a quote, rep logs in, converts the quote to an order, all from the web-facing interface. And again, as you look at this, I can place an order on behalf. I have their bill to ship to information. When I'm done, place the order. I jump back out. I select a new client to service. So a lot of people run this in conjunction with CRM, putting notes into CRM, coming out here, doing the order entry, tracking in the orders, serving other customers, jumping back in, throwing my notes into CRM. So it's really coinciding, working well with your ERP, and again, also taking that rich customer history and sharing it between the two databases. So a couple applications, again, out here at K-eCommerce that I wanted to focus in on and talk a lot about today. The retail site, the wholesale site, the rep order entry portal, as well as the content management system. So we take a look at, again, the website I showed us today, which was the wholesale and the retail-facing environments. I'm going to jump back to the retail-facing website for a moment, and I'm going to come into the content management system. So again, a lot of people run a shopping cart. They say, you know what, shopping cart isn't robust enough to run our corporate front end. With K-eCommerce, that's not the case. We have a very rich, intuitive CMS. You can come out here, create static pages, educational content pages. What's great about it is you have version control over the website. It's optimized, can run in multiple languages, run in multiple currencies. As you build out new static pages, we have 20-some templates to allow you flexibility when it comes to the content you want to display or showcase out to clients. So you build out basically that template, you select it, you then dump the content into the template. So a simple copy-paste into a WYSIWYG editor is how you build out those pages. And if you have people who know HTML, you can work out of HTML. But for simple or more advanced users, there's options in both. And prior to publishing, we also give you a rich tool here that allows you to confirm compatibility across any device. So I'm going to remove the edit mode for a second, and I'm going to show exactly how this web page is going to render based on the content that I have in there. And I'm going to look at it on my desktop, my horizontal tablet, horizontal phone, vertical phone, horizontal phone. Okay, so I'm showing you that rich UI prior to you publishing your design changes, all from a web-based interface inside of the CMS and K-eCommerce that's native. Very easy to train, very easy to make changes. A lot of people who run the platform have somebody with basic HTML experience. A lot of our clients don't have big development staffs. You can come into the application, make small changes. So, you know, it's the holidays. We're looking at making some changes for Halloween. I want to incorporate some Halloween colors into the website, so I can make some color changes, make some button changes, put a new background image out here quickly by just uploading that new image or background or colors that I want, previewing the changes, and then publishing those changes out to make design changes to the website quickly without having to rely on a development shop. So a little bit about the K-eCommerce backend as well, inside of the platform, how it works, how it functions, and how you can utilize the application to keep the costs down, but also to put simple tools in place to empower your business to make changes as you see fit. So what I'd like to do at this point is kind of continue along and wrap up the presentation by talking about how we can utilize an integrated commerce portal to save and minimize our investment in this application here. So most businesses, and I put together a scenario here, a business that does approximately 6 million online in an annual basis with about 462 orders a week. The average order total being about $250, equates to about 6 million a year. This client, I put about 30,000 SKUs. Some of us in the room might have less, some might have more. And what does that mean to our business if we don't have integration in place, right? Any level of integration. Well, in this case, you're looking at the equivalent of about 4.5 bodies a year to maintain an unintegrated database. You're talking 5 minutes to process an order, 3 minutes to process a payment, 1 minute to update an inventory item, shipping information on each line item on the order, in addition to maintaining 2 databases. All adds up very quickly, and I break it down here in this scenario. So entering an order into the ERP, right? Might not seem like much. You got 462 orders, maybe 5 minutes per order. That's 38 hours a week of manually entering orders. $20 an hour for that employee, $3,000 a month, about 40 grand a year. Manually processing payments, again, something commonly overlooked. You got 462 payments that need to be processed, and again, this could be invoices too, not just new sales order. Maybe 3 minutes per transaction to go out to your payment gateway, process that payment, come back into Dynamics, apply the payment, $20 an hour, cost per month, cost per year. About 2 grand a month, 23 grand a year. So it starts adding up, as you can see. Inventory fulfillment and shipping side, you know, you need to obviously update your availability on a website and your retail. You're in, again, selling food and beverage. That stuff is critical to your clients, otherwise it's not in sync. Assuming, again, each web order has maybe 10 products on the order and it requires a minute to update the database for each line item. $20 an hour, about 6 grand a month to maintain the availability, fulfillment, and shipping side of things, which is about 80 grand a year to update that. The amount of hours spent each week updating products pricing, just doing regular maintenance on 30,000 SKUs. And again, maybe you're at 15,000 SKUs, maybe you're at 3,000 SKUs. You can cut this number down considerably, but still, it applies. It takes time to come in there, make a pricing update. I know some of us, retail, you're going to be updating very frequently. Food and beverage, you update very frequently, typically your cost or price or availability of items as they're coming in and out constantly. All maintenance points, again, that add up quickly here. And then last but not least, those in the room looking to run a website, most companies today aren't leaving their website sit for a calendar year or 2 calendar years. You need to be up to date. You want to be ahead of the game. You want to change your look and feel and keep up to date with the trends. So hiring a cost of an external design firm, again, to make generic changes to your website. Maybe it's just banners. Maybe it's just colors on the website. Maybe it's a new logo. It can be very costly to a business when you're constantly outsourcing that development. And as you look at the total cost in a year of a disconnected system, it's added up very quickly. Now, as you look at the cost of that disconnected system, I added on here, in this case, the cost of your own hardware. But what I also wanted to do here is note the cost of having an integrated website, okay? And in this case, the K-eCommerce platform, typically running about 25 grand from an investment standpoint, $750 a month for us to host the solution, including maintenance and the ongoing integration with your ERP. And you can see the ROI over a period of even 3 years and how quickly that adds up to you as a business for having to manually maintain a website when you're running about 6 million through it, to running an integrated platform that, again, has harnessed the power of your ERP and your investment in your ERP to power all your maintenance that is being done on the website. And again, as we transition that over to, again, an on-premise implementation where you're typically buying your own hardware up front, making sure that it's up to date, and any new software moving forward, and any installation or migration costs on an annual basis, it does add a little bit more to the overall bottom line as a business as you run a disconnected system on your own hardware, which again I think makes, I've broken that down in even the license model. I told you this is licensed out in both scenarios. You pay a little bit more upfront for an application like this in a license scenario because you own the license. It'll work for multiple companies as well. But here you talk about, again, still a very high ROI when it comes to cost savings versus unintegrated versus integrated in your inevitable maintenance in the website as a business. So taking into light what I've kind of told you today as a business, I think it's important to understand that you choose a business partner that can grow with you as a business, can talk to you. Again, we talked a lot about the benefits of integrations, the application itself, but also the cost savings that an integrated website can bring you versus having to manually maintain multiple databases and make all those changes manually versus having software do it for you as a business. So I hope this presentation was educational for everybody in the room. If you guys do, again, have any comments, here's my contact information, though I'd encourage you, again, to work through TM and again, come back to us through TM, as we have a couple representatives that work with TM very closely to ensure that clients' requirements and needs are fulfilled. So I